Hi, let's dig into the tune, All the Things You Are. I want to look at something called key centers. So one of the nice things about this standard is that it moves through several keys. So if I just show you what the key centers are. Actually, before we do that, let's just look at the chords in case you're not familiar with the tune and you don't have it in a book or somewhere. The chords for the tune: F minor 7, B flat minor 7, E flat 7, A flat major 7, D flat major 7, G 7, C major 7. I'm going too fast on purpose. This is C minor 7, F minor 7, B flat 7, E flat major 7, A flat major 7, A half diminished, D7 to G. A minor 7, D7, G major 7, F sharp half diminished, B7, E major 7, C 7 sharp 5, and then we're back to the A section again. F minor 7, B flat minor 7, E flat 7, A flat major 7, D flat major 7, G flat 13, C minor 7, B diminished, B flat minor 7, E flat 7, back home to A flat major 7. If you do the turnaround to go back again, it would be G half diminished to C7, and then we're back. So let me just show you what the key centers are. I mean, you can hear that it's changing keys. You know, here we're in A flat. And then right here, it changes to C. Let's just run through that real quick too. The letters in the black are the actual chord changes for the tune, and then below in color would be the key center. So you can see the first key center there in green is A flat. Okay. And it runs through a bunch of different keys. They're all different colors. Goes to C. We can get more into an explanation at another time about, how do you know what the key centers are. You can see here, it goes into E flat, goes into G, and I'll just let you copy that down or just look at it before we move on. Okay, so those are the key centers. Now, what do you do with the key centers? Well, the key centers can be used with scales. But a difficulty with using the scales is that they often sound like scales. That's why I think I tend to underuse scales when I try to do some kind of improvisation. But let me just show you what it would sound like if you just do straight academic type key centers and scales. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you can see already it sounds like scales. Okay, so scales are something that you have to know and you have to practice and you have to have them totally down and memorized, but you have to try to sound like you're not just reciting them, and that's a problem I have. I have the same problem with arpeggios. It sounds like I'm just reciting the notes in the chord, which is not music. It's kind of like an exercise. Anyway, the thing I think is really helpful to make your solos more dynamic, more musical, would be rhythmic motifs. So years ago, I studied for a while with a guy who taught me about rhythms, and he said these rhythms were taken from the big band arrangements. Like one simple example would be like if you think of Take the A Train. There's a counter melody that happens when you listen to the Duke Ellington Orchestra. That's not even the melody, but that's the rhythm. So again, what I'm trying to stress here is not notes, not what notes are being played, not what arpeggios, what scales, what chord tones. It's just the rhythm. So when this guy was teaching it to me, he was actually just singing them. Okay, so one of the ones he taught me from the big bands was okay. Now you can mix it up and use different notes. But the rhythm is da 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 dee da. Okay, another one would be like ba ba da ba dee da ba 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 dee da dee da ba bum. You can use any notes, and that's where the knowledge of the scales comes in. You take the motif, the rhythmic motif. Here's another one. Let me try it again. Okay, so if we just take those three rhythmic motifs, I gotta stop singing because you're gonna shut everything off and leave. But if you take the rhythmic motifs, and if we look at some things that can be done with that, here we go. If I start at the beginning of the tune with F minor 7. Okay, so you can see it sounds less like a scale and more like music. All right, let's look at the guide tones that we can use for all the things you are. If you're not familiar with guide tones, what you do is you take the chord changes for a tune, and you look at the first chord, in this case F minor 7, and you say, okay, let me take the 7th of that chord, which would be E flat, the note E flat. You play the 7th note, and that's your central note. That's your focus of your improv for that chord. So you're gonna revolve around the E flat, which is the 7th of the first chord, F minor 7. And then you're gonna, for the second chord, B flat minor 7, you're gonna take the 3rd of that one. So here's what it is. Again, the black is the chord changes, and then down below is the guide tone. So you can use an E flat guide tone, which is the 7th of the F minor 7. You can change to a D flat note, which is actually the 3rd of this chord. Then you can go to the 7th of the next. So what you're actually doing is you're alternating the 7th note of its chord to the 3rd note of that chord to the 7th of this chord, etc., etc. And what it does is, what it can do if you do it correctly, it can stop your solos from sounding like, which are all the right notes for the chord changes, but again, it sounds like an academic thing that you're playing on page 12 of some music book. So let's look at guide tones in a way where we're playing the guide tone as the top note of each chord. Okay, so here we go. This is going to be an E flat over F minor 7. Now we've got D flat over B flat minor 7. Now we've got D flat over E flat 7. Now we've got C over A flat major 7. Okay, so let me take that again because I'm talking and I can't talk and play at the same time. But now we've got D flat over E flat 7. Now we've got C over A flat major 7. We've got C over D flat major 7. We've got the B over G7. And we've got the B over C major 7. We've got B flat over C minor 7. We've got A flat over F minor 7. B flat 7 is the chord, and A flat here is the guide tone. And then the G guide tone over the E flat major 7. Let me take that again since I screwed it up. E flat over F minor 7. Now we've got the 3rd, the D flat over B flat minor 7. Now we've got that same D flat over E flat 7. We've got C over an A flat major 7. We've got the C over D flat major 7. I'm just following the chords of the tune. Now we've got a B over G7, and we've got a B over C major 7. We've got B flat over C minor 7. A flat over F minor 7, A flat over B flat 7, and G over E flat major 7, and G over A flat major 7, G over A half diminished, F sharp as the top note in D7, and then we've got F sharp as the top note in G major 7. Continuing with the guide tones, we've got G over A minor 7, we've got F sharp over D7, and we've got F sharp over G major 7. We've got E, open E over F sharp half diminished. We've got the D sharp over B7. We've got D flat. No, we've got D sharp, sorry. D sharp on top of an E flat, on top of an E major 7. And we've got E as the top of the C7 sharp 5. Again, just following the tunes as they are on our list of chord changes. Now we're kind of back to the beginning. E flat over F minor 7, D flat over B flat minor 7, D flat over E flat 7, C over A major 7, C over D flat major 7, B flat over G flat 13. We've got B flat as the guide tone for C minor 7. We've got A flat as the guide tone over B diminished. We've also got A flat as the guide tone over B flat minor 7. And we've got G as the guide tone over E flat 7. And we've got G as our guide tone back to A flat major 7. So it may seem like much ado about nothing, but the guide tones can give more of a flow to your stuff. So if I just play around with guide tones for a minute and use the guide tone for each chord that we just laid out, but then embellish it with some single notes, we're going to have something like this. Where are we? Okay, so that was guide tones along with some single note embellishments along the way. If you're a total beginner and you really don't know any arpeggios and you don't really understand chord construction or what notes are in what chords, let's just take a look at the first handful of chords in the tune. All right, these are the arpeggios for those chords. So again, all the things you are, F minor 7 to B flat minor 7, to E flat 7, to A flat major 7. Okay, these are the arpeggios, and you're going to notice a lot of the fingerings, a lot of the positions repeat. So you can grab this, and now we're going to play some of it. Again, just in case you're new to this and you haven't. Now, the thing you have to understand is when you're first learning arpeggios, they're going to sound like arpeggios. They're going to sound like you're doing something out of a book, which you are. But that's an essential first step before you can try to do what I'm trying to do, which is get more musical with it. F minor 7. B flat minor 7, E flat 7, A flat major 7, D flat major 7. Okay, let me try that again. Now we're going to G7, C major 7. This whole cycle that we just did repeats, but now instead of starting on F minor 7, we're starting on C minor 7. And then I have to move because I'm running out of space. Okay, so I wanted to keep the video short. Let me know if you have any questions. This is all about trying to get more musical and trying to get more creative in your soloing for all the things you are. If you want to help me out, I don't sell lessons, I don't sell courses or anything like that. I don't have Patreon or PayPal. I'm just doing it out of a love for music. So if you want to help me out, give me a like, give me comments, and subscribe if you haven't already. Okay? Have fun, keep practicing. We're going to continue this next time with all the things you are. I appreciate you watching. Have a great day.